Welcome back to the Big Beautiful Disney Recap Show. Back after a short hiatus to a also delayed Halloween episode. Just like my podcast, this is a little Halloweeny, if you would consider it.
I love the synergy.
The synergy. But it seems like the theme this month is delayed episodes.
Yes, except this one actually contains educational values, unlike ours. So,
Yeah, true.
yes, well, thank you for joining us on the It Came from Big Beautiful Diz recap show, which is not the official name of it. So, don't
Yeah,
use
it has some name. I just can't be bothered to remember it.
Can't be bothered to even watch the video on time.
I couldn't even be bothered to watch the video. I
He's
saw
gonna
the
go off
title.
your knowledge and your gut here.
Yeah, so I mean, I can literally just recap the video, which is the show. So, you wanna get started?
Yes, this video discusses the timeline of perhaps the world's biggest theme park Halloween event, at
Yeah,
least in, the Western world, and
probably
maybe
one
also
of the
international.
most iconic. Like, I think that and Hallow Scream, not even like Fright Fest, are as popular as Halloween Hornets.
Not Scary Farm started it, but
Yeah, Not
here we
Scary
are,
Farm did
Universal.
start it. Universal did not start it.
Hmm.
Not Scary Farm has been going for 50 years now.
Yes, since 1973.
Yeah, almost as long as Disney World's been open.
And originally, it started as Fright Nights in Hollywood because it's like
Yeah.
the West
And
Coast
then
parks. They have the cool
Universal
stuff
went,
first.
"Oh no, that's the name of a movie. We can't do that."
With the,
And we can't steal IP characters with no licensing.
yeah, Steel, no. Make our own derivatives, maybe, actually.
So they end up developing these icons, which this is jumping ahead, but they are important to the rest of the lore here. So this icon trend has become something not just for Halloween Horror Nights. Other events have done it, and I could go into those other events, icons, but I don't want to because I would end up going off on a tangent. Unless that tangent is something that would be on. I mean, it's on topic. So, icons of these events are basically characters they use as the mascot.
This is big in Spirit Halloween too. I've seen a couple videos on that.
Yeah, Spirit Halloween even does it. Like you for Halloween Horror Nights, for instance, you have Jack, you have the director, you have the caretaker, you have a few other ones. The storyteller, you have Dr. Oddfellow, you have a few different the
A lot
Terror
of vague
Queen,
names that leave a lot to the imagination.
the Terror Queen, who was the icon for when it was at Islands of Adventure.
Hmm.
I mean, for other events, you got more recognizable characters like Jack, not related to the clown. This guy's a pumpkin dude for
Oh, no,
Halla
no, no.
Scream Williamsburg and I think San Antonio, but I can't remember if he was ever at Tampa. You have the sirens for Halla Scream Orlando at least. That's at least something they've been doing since the beginning. So they beat Universal there, even though they started the event way after Universal. And then like Halla Scream has a decent amount of icons, like almost as much as Universal. And I would say they're just as iconic to a certain group of people.
But imagine it's a fun trend. A lot of merch gets
Yeah,
moved
yeah,
to the
yeah. They're
lines.
unfortunately Busch Gardens didn't really jump on the merch train for their icons for a while. Uh which is unfortunate for somebody who is just becoming in getting into that event, more so than Halloween Horror Nights. Because honestly, Halloween Horror Nights has gotten way too crowded for its own good. So I'm going to other different
It's okay. They
events.
can sell you a $250 pass to skip all the
Oh
lines.
yeah, you can buy a $250 pass to go see one of these icons.
Hmm.
I I think I think that the icons at Hallow Scream are a little bit more unique than the ones at Halloween Horror Nights. I'm gonna get killed for saying that. I mean, some of the icons, I guess, at Halloween Horror Nights are unique, like the Terror Queen. But then it's just creepy old lady, spooky movie guy. They're basic concepts that have been fleshed out so well, though.
I would say they work in context, definitely. I mean, I
Yeah,
haven't gone in years.
They're
But if
not.
they're doing them and people are still going and buying the stuff, which they clearly are from the numbers that we have.
They aren't, incredibly different ideas, but they're something.
It's just the insert a vague, like slightly scary job here.
Insert vague, slightly, yeah, pretty much.
The accountant.
The accountant. The accountant for Universal.
Yes. Well,
So the first year of the event,
yeah, go into it.
only had one haunted house. We had one, and
It
it
did the
ran.
one in Florida
Yeah,
after it was moved from Hollywood due to the tram incident.
yeah. The tram
Let's save
incident.
this for the Disney competitor park.
Yeah, and they had one haunted house, and I think it ran for 3 nights.
Yes, they start getting longer because that's just how corporate seasonality works.
And I
All the
think
holidays now last 3 months.
around the second or third year it changed to Halloween Horror Nights.
The second year. In the first
Second,
year, it had one house, and it also had, according to the video, Beetlejuice singing song parodies with Ghostbusters, which sounds so incredible.
there is a video of that. It was performed during normal park hours. There's a video out there of it.
They performed it during the day?
Yes,
Oh
it
my.
just look up Beetlejuice and Ghostbusters show on YouTube. It's fantastic.
Yes, come back after about 20 minutes. We'll talk about that.
And
Save it
also
for the
look up
podcast.
there's a Rocky Horror Picture Show tribute that HHN did. That's fantastic. And I think it was Halloween Horror Nights 25 that had that.
Yeah, it was somewhere, if not the 2000s to 2010s. Not a
It's
movie
just
you'd
as gay
associate with
as the
jump
movie.
scares, but
They don't tone down the gay. The gay is full blast at this event.
that's what tourists want, especially in Florida.
Oh yeah. I mean, both Hallow Scream Orlando and this event are extremely semi-queer, which is great, and I love that. I mean, horror as a genre is very important to that community, so it's nice to see them representing that.
In 1992 was either the first year or the only year, because they're not mentioned again. There were ride overlays. Do you know anything about
Yes,
that?
yes, 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 yes. I know a lot about the ride overlays.
Because I
These
also
things
no.
these things were so weird. So ET Adventure was Alien
Alien
Forest.
4. I have the wikis open right here because I got so curious.
They got in trouble for that with Steven Spielberg, and they were told never do that again.
Mm.
I think Confrontation was like Invasion or something. Infestation. Can't remember. Oh wait, that's not right. Infestation isn't right. I know that's not right.
That's here the ET one changed, and it's now about you going to another planet to encounter demons from another dimension or something with more fog and scare actors that also jump out while guests waited in line. I don't know what the scare actors were dressed, or were they just wearing the bed sheet from ET because that's
Yeah.
all.
Oh man, this
And
was
my
yeah.
favorite, I have
Such
to,
a
I have to bring up. I wish there was more information on this. Um, there's also another overlay called Voyage into the Unknown for done Back to the Future the ride.
yeah,
Except
Voyage
not a
into
lot of this one is known. It just says here, according to the wiki, the same ride film stayed playing during the day, but there were scare actors themed to mad scientists who would appear and scare guests in the queue.
yeah,
Which
pretty much the ride overlays were them throwing scare actors in the queue and being like, all right, have fun.
oh, when I heard this, I was like, what, how do you make Back to the Future scary? Please, I need to know. And it's
As a scare actor, they make you do some interesting things.
oh yeah,
And people will say interesting things to you. It is such a weird role to play. I know if another scare actor is listening in on this, they'll agree. Guests will say some weird stuff to you to the point where I have a whole list going, but that's a conversation for later in the video.
regular characters too, but it's like the adrenaline and the darkness and the PG-13ness of it make it worse.
Yeah, I work at a local Halloween event. And people will just be like, they'll just say, no matter how gory or scary you look, they'll just straight up call you hot or whatever.
I was gonna say, are they driven by their lower regions to do scary things? The answer is
No, they
yes.
don't. They thankfully I haven't been touched or hit or attacked or anything, but I've had some people say some things to me.
Right. Yeah, I guess people are into that, which is fine. Just please not at a, relatively mass event.
Yeah, I want to talk about the year it was at Islands of Adventure, actually.
Yes, 2002. That's when you get over to the other park because it had grown the original islands, which I
Because
can see
this is
that.
the year that they did a Jurassic Park themed house, and I love that
Jurassic
thing.
Park. No, that sounds pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. It was half human, half dinosaur hybrids. It was
Were they in
wild.
3D?
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess
no.
dinosaurs are frightening in the dark, you could
Yeah.
say.
You could say they're running wild.
Hey, Aaron, probably not all bad.
I admit it, you can I bet you can admit it's kinda eerie, but this proves my chaos theory.
I'm not going back to HHN again after that. Need our lawyer.
I need a lawyer. I
Of
need a
course.
lawyer to sue all these people waiting in line.
Oh, absolutely. Did anything
Just
else
to
change with the move over to the parks? Because that seems like a fascinating
there was more
idea.
houses. They decided to
Yeah.
start building houses in attractions. Poseidon's Fury had a house in its queue.
Inside?
Yes, inside.
But how?
It was called Terror Mines. The attraction was not open during this time.
Hmm.
In fact, there were still props from Terror Mines inside the attraction until it closed.
What? Does the house take place in a setting like how the show is set up? Because you really can't do a lot with that, can you?
No, they did. They left the water tunnel running and everything.
Oh, so they did play with what they were given. That's interesting.
It was insane. I do not know how they got away with it.
And theme parks used to be so much crazier.
Just recently though, like the event pretty much stayed pretty consistent for most of its life until recently. I would say 2010, 2009, 8ish. Universal started to be obsessed with licensing out other franchises to use and base haunted houses around. And while this can necessarily turn out good, the Alien versus Predator house, Last of Us, that's pretty much it.
For
It can
then,
also,
it gets crazier.
it can also turn out horrible. Even properties that would lend themselves to really good haunted houses, Resident Evil, Stranger Things, they don't seem to execute them well, and I do not know why the IPs haven't backed out.
Really, would you say the IP houses are always consistently worse than like the Universal monsters or like the original
Oh yeah, the
them
original
stuff?
houses are always so much better than the IP houses. Dare I say, like sometimes the IP houses are better, like Last of Us has been. But then sometimes you get hot garbage. I mean you have good IP houses. Most of them have been good. I don't want to say like get off like the viewers get the idea that all the IP houses have sucked. You have American Werewolf in London, a few other ones, but then you have like the IP holder kind of screwing everything over. So I think it was either 25 or 24. They were supposed to have a house based on Scream, and Universal thought they wanted it based on the original movie. So they built a house based off the original movie. And guess what happened? They
It was
wanted it
not
based
what they
off
wanted. They wanted
no,
something newer.
they wanted it based off the TV show for
Oh, see, I
Scream.
didn't know the show. I was guessing there was a remake at some point, and it was just not computing here.
And basically they had to retheme it to the Purge last minute, and you could tell.
Oh my God. You would think the communication, like big companies here,
No,
send emails, talk.
no. They just they did Walking Dead like 50 times. It got really annoying.
Oh, I could imagine there was at least a 5 year stretch with Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, it
That's
was 5 years.
Stranger Things, that's been recurring too, I'd imagine.
That's also been not great.
Of course, because it's popular. Does it need to be good?
But my question is, how did Universal mess up a Resident Evil house?
I don't. How is that possible? Those
It
are,
is very
first of all, a
possible.
video game you walk through, you experience like a haunted house. You could just work with that.
Exactly.
How do you
They
mess that
they
up?
will probably unfortunately never touch Resident Evil again, and that makes me so mad.
And what makes a house bad? Is it bad effects, or is it just
No,
maybe the
it's
theming
just
isn't?
bad. Like there's this scene where it's just like a pause screen.
I'm imagining everyone going to this house at the same time, walking out and unanimously sighing.
Yeah, pretty much. I walked out of the Stranger Things house this year and went, oh,
All I need to know is Dueling Dragons good.
yes, it was amazing.
Perfect. I wish I had merchandise from that, even though I would
I
never
can
go
now
in there.
talk about the 3 years I have gone. I went in 2020, 2021, and 2023. I absolutely loved 2021's event. It was great. You had I think 2021 was Bride of Frankenstein and Tooth Fairy, which were great. Where's that last year? That was 30. That might have been last year. Couldn't remember. But one of the years, I think it was last year, they had a house called the Sentence of Destruction. And that was one of the coolest houses I've ever experienced.
Really, what is it about?
Post-apocalyptic. It had this really cool subway crash. It was just such a cool house set design wise.
That's good. That's good. They at least it's good to know that it's not like every other theme park thing where it's like, oh, it used to be good in the 90s and now it sucks completely. Like it's
Well, I
good to
mean, now
know.
it does suck. It's too crowded and you can't enjoy it, but it's not
Oh,
like quality wise, it sucks.
yeah. Well, of course they're gonna oversell those tickets because they can. They have that's probably why they brought IP in there because they knew they could bring those prices up and just get a ton of people in there.
I mean, it's not just Halloween Horror Nights that kind of has come across the same issue. I mean, Howl-O-Scream even has kind of taken something that you had themed bars, you had themed like
Ooh, you know I'm a sucker for theme bar.
I mean, you had bars like hidden inside some of the houses.
That
I
sounds
think they only did
awesome
that once. And
because then it got crowded and
not Scary Farm
logistically
is doing that, I think,
terrible.
and maybe Queen Mary. I can't remember. But these events have become so popular that they raise the ticket prices and lessen the experience. But that's also because they can't get enough scare actors, which is not their fault.
Yeah. Can you believe it first started as volunteers? When I heard that, I was like, whoa. It's a lot of dedication.
I'm
There's
a
a lot of
volunteer.
dedicated
I
people out there.
volunteer and do scare acting, and it's fun. But I wish I got paid.
No, of course, I'm not trying to justify, oh, just, volunteer. I just think that's cool that they were able to get support on doing something like that at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
What,
sounds like it's fun. It's tiring. It's physically exhausting, but it's fun.
what is it like to go around in costume, hiding in the dark and screaming at random people you've never met?
It's funny because
It
I'm
must
really,
be.
really, really bad at breaking character, and that's one thing I have to get better at. And I'll scare somebody, and they'll react a certain way, and I just start laughing. I'm just like,
I would do the same thing.
like, and it like I played characters in Latex Masks. I played characters that are in full blackout. I've played important characters to the event's storyline. Playing these different roles has really given me a wide range of different experiences. More open exposed scares seem to get people less than scares that come out of nowhere.
Which makes sense. It's the element of surprise.
Like there's different. I tried crawling at one point.
You,
Um,
oh,
yeah,
honey.
because my friend crawls to scare, and a few other people I know crawl that work at different events. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. They said it scares people, gets you out of their line of sight. So I would crawl out of my scare. It would get people so bad. It was they're a genius. Credit to the person that introduced me to crawling
Introduced you
as a
to Crow.
scare. Not introduced me to crawling.
I bet.
Introduced me to crawling as a scare.
Oh my goodness.
They're a wonderful and dedicated scare actor, and are probably my inspiration for the way I do my whole thing.
Well, it's been a very enlightening conversation with you and your experience, which I did not know you had until today.
Yeah, I
On my toes.
posted I sent pictures in the Discord of me in full makeup and didn't
I guess I just completely. This
you
is how
for
good of a friend I am. Okay, this is
you thought I was just a weirdo.
no, or I just didn't register it was you, or I don't know.
Who is this random person he's
Why are you
posting?
sending me selfies of someone like this? Is weird. Well, do you have any other comments, concerns,
No, no.
anything on your wish list you'd like to see at HHN? Just I want theme park ride based stuff
Oh,
because I
don't
don't
even
watch
get
horror
me
movies, so give
started.
me
Oh,
Theme park
There's so much
rides.
stuff I want to happen to Halloween Horror Nights that will never happen. I want Resident Evil Village. I want Jurassic Park to come back. I want another Ghostbusters house. I want an Alien house. I want a Mummy house. I want more Universal
A Mummy
Monsters.
House. That feels like something they should have done because that ride is so
They did
HHN.
at Hollywood, but who cares about
Mm.
Hollywood? I want a sequel to Bugs Eaten Alive. I want a sequel to Descendants of Destruction. I want a sequel to Wicked Growth. There's so much stuff I want. I could go on for hours, but I don't want to make Dane edit like an hour long thing.
I just have one crackhead thing to say, as I always do. What if Simpsons ride overlay Treehouse of Horror
Yes.
with like
So
hot
many
Devil's
people have
Landers?
suggested that, and it would be so easy.
It is so easy. Oh my God, there's a whole catalog in there, and they're still good. And watch
Just
Modern Simpsons. Okay, I'm done with my evangelizing over here.
just like my hope for a Resident Evil Village house, it'll never happen.
Hmm.
Well, thank you for inviting us on, Dane, once again to talk about your show, your YouTubes.